Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NWA Paranoia. We have an absolutely stacked card once again for you tonight, following on from our first set of NWA Power tapings. We kick off with Kylie Page taking on her sister Kenzie Page for the NWA World Women's Championship. Kenzie Page recently turned her back on her sister, and our sister is out for revenge. We'll also see Colby Corino take on the unusual challenge of Mike Mondo. Mondo cost Corino an opportunity at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on NWA Power, and now Corino wants his shot back. And in our main event, we'll see Bishop Dyer take on Hiromu Takahashi with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Takahashi won a 5-way match on NWA Power to earn his shot at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, so we'll see if he can dethrone the Nomad, Bishop Dyer. We'll find out this and more tonight at NWA Paranoia. We kick off our first of 3 pre-show matches as Dylan McKay beats Rolando Perez in about 6 minutes 48 seconds as he beats him with a shooting star press. A good 38 rated match. McKay getting a 39, Perez getting a 29. Both of these improving from their recent performances, and a good way to start the pre-show. In our next match, we see Trevor Murdoch defeat the debuting Facade. This match wasn't for the NWA World Television Championship, but it is a good first appearance from Facade, both of them getting a 42, and the match equals out to a 45 rating. So a good performance from Murdoch and a good appearance from Facade. And in our final pre-show match, a good 41 rated match, Diamonds in the Rough of Jeremiah Plunkett and BK Westbrook defeat the team of Burchill and Mims when BK Westbrook pins Burchill. This is likely to be Burchill's last match here in the NWAs. His contract is coming up very soon, so we'll see how Mims does without his partner. But a good win for the Diamonds in the Rough. But we'll now move on to the main show. So the main show kicks off with a 50 rated match as Max the Impaler defeats Oliver Carter. Again, this was the blow-off match in their feud. They will not be wrestling again, and it was a hardcore match between them. Max the Impaler getting a 44 but being off their game. Oliver Carter getting a 49. Again, a really good match here, equaling out to a 50. An excellent way to start the show. In our next match, which is a match for the NWA United States Tag Team Championships, the team of Vic and Silas Mason defeat the Southern Six of Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton. Obviously, Silas Mason, being a former member of the Southern Six, has retained the NWA United States Tag Team Championship against his former stablemates as he's now joined the Disciples of Sin. Gets a 39 rating, so not the best match. Vic does sustain a cracked tailbone, so we'll see how long he's out for, if he's out for anything at all. Silas Mason's off his game, and Kerry Morton has a gimmick that's getting stale, so we'll have to change that quite soon. But a decent match for who's involved, but we'll move on to our next match. So in our next segment, Bully Ray is backstage. He's drinking beers with the NWA World Tag Team Championship champions, his boys Bojack and Marsh Rockette. He says that they have a rare night off tonight, so they're going to make the most of it, and they'll be back on NWA Power defending their NWA World Tag Team Championships. So they're having a rest night, drinking some beers, eating some food, and enjoying the show. In our next match, we see Spencer Slade defeat the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in Tetsuya Naito. So an excellent match here, a 47 rated match. Spencer Slade actually outperforming Naito, getting a 44 to Naito's 39. I don't think Naito's going to spend much longer in the NWA. It was just a short trip for him over here, but a good win for Spencer Slade here. After the match, Slade is celebrating his victory when EC3 appears on the stage. A couple of weeks ago at NWA Power, Slade did take EC3 out with an attack during his open challenge. EC3 says that Slade may have beaten him down, but he's not taking him out for good. He's here for revenge. He wants Slade one-on-one. He wants him in a no DQ street fight. So we'll see if Slade accepts this challenge. In our next segment, we see Father James Mitchell backstage with Rob Van Dam. He tells RVD to be worried about Colby Corino, his client, because the sins are coming for him, with his first sin facing him tonight. In our next match, Yuka Sakazaki defeats ZZ in about 7.5 minutes. Again, a good way to get Yuka Sakazaki on the show and get ZZ some exposure over here in America. Again, if you remember, we brought her over from Pro Wrestling Eve during that buyout, but a good match here, a 55 rating. Sakazaki being obviously the far better performer, getting a 63, with ZZ still doing quite well for a 21-year-old who's having her 4th or 5th match in America with a 27, but a good 55 rated match. In our next match, a 50 rated match, Kenzie Page defeats her sister Kylie after interference from the returning Allysin Kay. Again, this was for the NWA World Women's Championship. It is defense number 36 for Kenzie Page as she defeats her own sister, thanks to the interference from Allysin Kay, who has returned to the NWA. In our next match, a match for the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship, Ortiz does in fact defeat TJP once again after he uses a foreign object to defeat him. Again, it is his first defense of the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship after he defeats TJP at NWA Goes Extreme in December of 2025. Ortiz says he's not done with TJP. He distracted TJP during his match with Bishop Dyer on NWA Power, and he gives him one more shot tonight, but we'll have to see if they're going to have any more shots in the future, as Ortiz has defeated TJP once again. In our next segment, Mark Henry finds Kenzie Page backstage. She's with her new ally in Allysin Kay. Henry says that since Kenzie has a partner again, since Charlie Evans has gone, she can face both Kylie Page and Yuka Sakazaki on NWA Power. So we have another match set up for NWA Power, as it will be Kenzie and Allysin Kay against Kylie and Yuka Sakazaki. In our next segment, Matt Lee is also backstage, and he says that it's a complete joke that he's not on the card tonight, and he'll be making his feelings felt on NWA Power. Again, he isn't on the card tonight, he hasn't got a match tonight, but he definitely will be on NWA Power, and he'll make sure he leaves his mark. Then, in our semi-main event of the evening, Colby Corino does in fact defeat Mike Mondo. Again, it was a really good match, a 58 rated match. Corino getting a 68 rating, Mike Mondo getting a 47. And Corino, once again, has defeated Mike Mondo after Mondo costs him a shot at the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. So we'll have to see how he progresses on NWA Power and if he ever gets his shot again at Bishop Dyer. But now we move on to our NWA World's Heavyweight Championship match between Dyer and Takahashi. In our main event of the evening, a 59 rated match, Bishop Dyer does defeat Hiromu Takahashi in about 14.5 minutes to make his 6th defense of the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. It is a good 59 rated match. Bishop Dyer gets a 59 rating himself, with Takahashi slacking behind a bit, getting a 44. But it is a good way to end our first event of 2026, with Bishop Dyer once again retaining the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. We'll end the show here and we'll see what rating we got. So the overall rating from the show gets a 55. Again, our production values continue to hinder us, but at the moment we're making a bit of money, so we may be able to upgrade those soon enough. But 55 is still a good rating, and it increases our popularity in 21 regions. We'll go to the post-show area, we'll praise some wrestlers, and we'll see if we made profit and where we made those popularity gains. So we're going to be praising 3 different people tonight. Yuka Sakazaki, Oliver Carter, and ZZ's going to be given some encouragement, so we'll see how they react. Sakazaki's pleased, Carter seemed pleased, as did ZZ. So we'll have a look at that injury to Vic. Again, it's a 30-day injury, can be worked through, but probably won't put him in any matches during that time. If we then move to our financial report, we did make a huge amount of money tonight, $27,000, a massive increase from what we normally make. This is mainly because ticket sales were sky high, apparently, for $28,000 we made in ticket sales. So that would definitely be enough to maybe increase our production values quite a bit. But we'll now look at our popularity ratings. So we do have massive increases in many different areas. Again, America hasn't grown much. That's because we already grew 2 popularity points through the NWA Power tapings. We've grown all throughout Canada. We've grown throughout the UK. And we've grown in areas of Japan. So a good amount of growth here. And of course, a good amount of money made. But that will be the end of the show. So we'll see you back at the home screen. So here we are back at the home screen. The one thing that is jumping out to me is the fact that Cody Rhodes won his 3rd Royal Rumble and Tiffany Stratton won her first Women's Royal Rumble. We'll have a look at our emails. Again, it is our confirmation that Paul Burchill has left the NWA. Our regional battle, we finished 2nd out of 4, so there's no bonuses or penalties. Our viewing figures were about 50,000 viewers, so obviously very good. EC3 has an opinion and doesn't like Mims. And again, it's just confirmation of Vic's injury. But we'll go back to this office page and we'll see what is coming up next. So our next show, or next episode I'll come to you with, is another 4 tapings of NWA Power, which will only be in a couple of days. Again, our next event probably won't be NWA Hard Times. There will probably be something in before that, but that will be scheduled before NWA Power. So that will be the next episode we go through, and you'll find out exactly what event is up next then. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with anyone you think would enjoy. Also remember to comment any wrestlers you may want to see in the series, and I'll see if I can get them on the show. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you at our 2nd set of NWA Power tapings.